Hey everyone, welcome back to Metanoia. My name is Carrie Jane, and today I'm making a video on something I feel compelled to make after having an issue come up repeatedly over and over again on my channel, and that is the most common mistake that I see people making in numerology. I've had this issue come up a few times in the comments section in a lot of my videos, and I kept having to answer the same question and explaining myself, and I figured I might as well just make a video on this to help raise awareness on this. And I don't know if anyone's actually going to watch it, anyone who's been coming at me with these questions, or if it'll help at all with, developing an understanding of numerology, but I figured it's useful to have something like this on my channel anyway. And I would like to see more videos like this on other people's channels as well. People who are astrologers, people who are numerologists. Like, what are you guys seeing out there? Make a video on it. What mistakes are people making? What misconceptions are there? Not just like, here's something about you. I would love to see more videos on stuff to help people unlearn, or to just bring some context into this stuff, because if we're constantly coming at it from one side, it really diminishes our understanding of these subjects. So the most common mistake that I see people making numerology, based on just my limited perspective through my own numerological practice, is that people are not reducing the numbers. They're keeping the numbers at double digits. So I'm going to reiterate, if you want to understand a number, you keep reducing it until you get to a single digit, and that's going to give you the rudimentary message right there, whether it's a repeating number or your birthday. Specifically in this video, we're going to be talking about your birthday. People are doing this mostly with a life path number. They are not reducing it to one number. They go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, but mostly I don't see it with those odd numbers. I mostly see it with the master numbers. People are keeping it to 2 digits with the master numbers. So for example, I'll go in a 4 life path video, my videos, and it'll say, this was great, can you do the 22 life path? That is the 22 life path, okay? And let me explain why this is an issue, or how. The reason why this doesn't work is because with this logic, there would be something like 50 life path numbers, depending on how high you can go, which is dependent on the year, how many digits can come together and to add to a large number, like in the 1999s, for example, the 1990s. That was a period of time where we were getting some big digits, okay? But just think about that. Without logic, I wouldn't be a 5 life path. I would be a 32 life path. And I bet if a numerologist decided to try to make a book on that, first of all, it'd be a very large book of life paths 1 to 50 or something like that, something crazy, 40 something. That would be a thick book, and you would find it very repetitive, because the way that you understand those large numbers is by reducing it to a single digit. It would be like, hey, guess what, you're this. And then maybe a couple of things are different. It would be the same exact thread of understanding. So that's my main argument against why that doesn't make any sense. Not to say that those two numbers don't matter, because how we get to the number is important, okay? So say, for example, again, talking about my 5 life path number, which came from the number 32, perhaps there's something to do with the number 2 and the number 3 in my 5 life path journey that is significant. So perhaps balance, the number 2, and creativity, the number 3, has something to do with my journey to freedom. It doesn't change. I'm not a 32 life path. I'm a 5 life path, though. Does this make any sense? Is this is my logic making any sense to you guys? I hope it is. But yeah, I really just wanted to take some time to explain that doesn't really make any sense to just keep going on forever. When I explain this to people, that you have to keep reducing the numbers to get to 1 digit, I get a mixed bag of responses. Half the people seem to be like, oh, okay, or like they don't answer. And then the other half, rather than like providing a good counter argument or explaining like an experience that they've had that suggests that keeping it to 2 digits is useful, instead of that, I get a lot of people who are upset, which is a good question to ask. Why are these people getting upset at something like that? Pay close attention to people, guys. To me, this is a huge indicator that potentially something else is going on within everything, not just numerology. I talk about the commodification of spirituality here a lot. I talk about the commodification of everything of the modern age here a lot. And to me, this is potentially one of those symptoms of something that has become commodified. I'm just going to read verbatim what I wrote here when I had a thought that was, I guess, a reaction to some of these comments that I was reading that I saved for the convenience of this video. I wrote here that a lot of people get upset, which says a lot about how and where they got this information from. It means that they liked what they heard the first time and they don't want to be told anything different. They don't want to let go of that. Numerology and everything has become less about learning, less about understanding, less about growth. And I'm including everything in this, not just numerology. And more about packaging things in such a way that bolsters ego, that sounds appealing, that reaffirms how we want to feel or need to feel special or different, and generally just catches people's attention and makes them want more, makes them want to buy a product from whoever they're getting this info from, or just basically catching their attention. And this is like a constant give and take of the people disseminating this message and then them getting positive feedback from that, because obviously they told the person something that they want to hear. And then that positive attention makes them feel better, and then they just keep saying that stuff, which may not necessarily be based with experience and based with study or based with anything other than this is what they want to tell people because that's what people want to hear. And that is the commodification of spirituality. When things become trendy, they get watered down. It's less about experience. It's, for example, the other day, someone commented wanting me to do a tarot series. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that because I can't take any authority over tarot. I've spent over 10 years now studying numerology, doing people's charts, meditating with it, etc. I know what it takes to master something to a point where I can actually take authority over it and talk about it in a confident way. A lot of these people online have not studied this for nearly as long. Some of them have. Some of them always had a fascination, for example, with just tarot. Let's just keep using that example. And, they were in high school when they started it, and then, they just used it for their own personal use, and then it became more serious, and they started doing readings with other people. They began to read a lot of different kinds of books, so on and so forth. Not everyone is like that, but I notice there's so many, kind of pop-up shops, so to speak, on numerology, with just people coming out of nowhere saying, guess what, I know everything about the subject and you should listen to me on it. And this is just what happens when things become trendy. People find a way to make money off of it, and then I don't think people are necessarily that organized and that intelligent to be devious enough to say, I'm going to make this business off of something that I know nothing about. I think within the realm of spirituality, it's really easy for anyone to just claim subjectivity as objectivity, as we're seeing with everything now, not just in spirituality. Claim something as something as subjective as real, and then applying it to everything and saying this is true for everyone. And so things become watered down. At the end of the day, it's like, what is real? I don't even know anymore because so many people are saying so many different things. So what I'm looking for when I say this kind of stuff is for someone to say, hi, I'm a numerologist, or I'm a this, and I've been practicing it for this many years. And for whatever reason, I've noticed people who, add up to this number, are different from the reduced digit. And I don't really understand it myself, but I'm investigating it, and I think there's something to it. I'm looking for something like that instead of just people getting upset that they weren't told what they want to hear. And it's very clear, especially now, the difference between those two people. I think also another reason why people get upset initially, instead of just having like a neutral reaction, for example, is that they've never been told something different, like there's just so many psychics now, so many people in this new age community on, who have like a platform, who have a channel, who will, like I just said, tell people whatever they want. And it kind of reminds me, I did like a discussion video with Marcy Brockman recently. Check it out if you're interested. And she was talking about an experience that she had with her mother, which was deeply tied into her memoir, and that's why we were talking about it. And she was saying how, like, her mother had been to countless therapists, and she was just in this constant destructive pattern of going to a therapist, the therapist immediately seeing what the heck was going on with her, confronting her about it, and then her just claiming that that person was full of shit, and then going on to the next therapist and the next one and the next one and the next ones until she found someone who just told her everything she wants. And we're definitely not therapists, trained professionals at all in that field of psychology when you're a numerologist or an astrologer. But a lot of the time, you do kind of take a counselor role, especially I think what I do in numerology, because I've always been interested in psychology. There is an element of psychology when you sit down with a person and you talk to them about their life, and you come from a point of understanding and try to understand their struggles and the immense, unique experience that that person has had and is. So there is an element of psychology that plays within these client relationships, I guess you could call them, even though that doesn't feel right. And I think it's like the same thing. I think people are just so, as I've always said here, so wrapped up in their own stories. And the reason why they got to their difficult situation in the first place is often because they're just never willing to look at their own soul. And the second that someone tries to make them look at something other than what they want to look at, it is not met. It's rejected, and then that person will just continue spinning out, So I kind of got off topic here, but it's related to what I'm trying to say here, to like raise awareness as to what's going on here. Half of this video I want to be is just making that clear. Maybe you're interested in numerology and you didn't know that you had to reduce the numbers. But also maybe you follow a lot of different kinds of channels, and I want you to be able to identify this on your own. Is that person trying to keep you, to make money off of you, to create an unhealthy dependence off of you by telling you everything that you want? Or are they trying to make something as honestly as they can? Are they trying to be as honest as they can, with integrity, with actual skill building, actual growth, actual learning, so that there is no dependence on that person? And hopefully they're there in their practice with the desire that one day you will never need us, you will never need them. to have insight on numerology, to have insight on, what's going on right now. And I think that's, that's why always there's just this constant feed of, you're going to find true love this month, and you're going to get money this month, and you're going to get X this month. It's always like, you're going to get something. And like, we become addicted to that. And then like, they develop this unhealthy relationship with their followers where they feel like they constantly need that validation in order to feel okay. And it's just really sad when these people could be doing something so much more significant and deep and meaningful with their life. Like these tools of divination were not meant for you to have, like, know when your next love interest is coming. Like, do you know what you are? Do you know what you're capable of? If you're say you're this huge important person that came here to Earth as a light worker, you really think you'd be fucking around with what they call 3D stuff here, just constantly wanting money and romance? No. There's so much more to life. Like, there's so much to have reverence for. There's just so much to like be fulfilled with on a much deeper level that will actually give us the love and the healing that we're all craving for every single day. And yet, because all of this has been commodified, it's so rare that we see something real now. And I can see the very small amount of my followers see that in me, perhaps on a subconscious or conscious level. They see someone actually trying to dig down deep and get at that meat and potatoes for you, that spiritual meat and potatoes for you, so that you're not left with just this shallow message of you're gonna find love next week and everything's gonna be great forever and you're always awesome. Like, a lot of us, if you're a human being on Earth, have gone through terrible pain, terrible trauma, terrible everything. And to just, like, why do you guys like look for that kind of stuff? Not all of you, of course, but like, why are people looking for meaning in the most meaningless things? I will never understand, but the only thing I can do is raise awareness of it and just talk about what I'm seeing as it's happening. And just be careful, guys. Be careful what you subscribe to. And I don't just mean on YouTube. I mean everything in life, really. So sorry I got sidetracked a little bit in this video, but the main takeaway message, hopefully here for you guys, is basically that it doesn't matter if you take something that's the same concept, put it in a pretty new package for people to want to buy. When you open up that package, the same exact thing is going to be in that thing. So when you're having you have an 11 life path, guess what? You're a 2 life path. When you have a 22 life path, you're a 4. When you have a 33 life path, you're a 6. 44, 8 life path, okay? Pretty packages that someone is really working hard at making it sound really appealing for you to, buy and consume. Open it up, it's the same fucking thing, okay? I hope that made sense in this video. If it didn't, I'm open to answering some questions or talking about some experiences that you've had with all of this. I would love to hear your input. And as always, if you want to support this channel in any way or you want to follow me on other social accounts, please check out the links in the description. And share my videos. YouTube recommendations only go so far, especially when I'm not making these really popular videos that are bolstering everyone's ego, if you catch my drift. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. That also helps me more than you know. Thank you so much to all those who have been here with me throughout this journey. I think about you guys all the time, really, especially now with everything going on. And I'm constantly thinking about how, I can help this channel become better, So I always take requested videos for that reason. I'm only one person. I'm not going to have great ideas all the time, so I'm open to ideas as long as it's something that I can actually take authority on, of course, like I was explaining before. And yeah, it's a really nice day, so I gotta go. I gotta go get outside. I gotta get this video out to you guys, and there's some avocados waiting to be guacamole. Okay, so I gotta go. And I love you all so much, and I hope you guys are okay. I'll see you all soon, okay? So take care.